r/scary stories, posted by Reddit user that other dude 1817. Our first scary story is entitled Cake. The videos were simple. They all showed someone using a knife to cut through various objects. A plank of wood, a strawberry, a bag of Doritos, even a cup of coffee. But there was a catch. A simple yet confusing catch. They were all cake. All of them. Sweet, delicious cake. And they all looked so convincing. Even I was fooled at first. And it was amazing. But was it real? I knew I had to put it to the test. I grabbed my own knife from the kitchen, and then a roll of toilet paper from the bathroom. I grabbed the knife and raised it above the top of the roll. I sawed through it as hard as I could. It took a little bit of effort, but when I took apart the two halves, I was amazed to see cake. It was beautiful. It was pure white, meaning it could have just been standard white cake, but it could have also been vanilla, coconut, cheesecake. I had to keep going. I shoved my knife into the wall itself and pulled downwards. It took plenty of resistance, but after some time, I made a hole big enough to reveal what the house was truly made of. Beautiful, beautiful chocolate cake. I was ecstatic. If everything was cake, then there were no limits. I dashed out of the bathroom, leaving my home, and searched for the first person I could find. They were distracted, with their backs turned to me and typing away at their phone. I had to see if they were cake too. I grabbed them from behind and quickly slit their throat, feeling no guilt as I did. After all, they were just cake. I let their body hit the floor, watching the strawberry syrup gushing out of their neck in amazement. But I could not stop there. I slammed my knife into their gut and tore it open, delighted to see that there was little to no resistance this time. And there was cake. It was all cake, all of it. It was red velvet. No, strawberry. No, what am I doing? I knew the only way I could pinpoint the flavor. I scooped up the corpse's stomach and devoured as much cake as I could find. It didn't taste like a flavor I could recognize. In fact, it was quite disgusting. Maybe it was just a bad batch. I had to find more. I was about to move on when I heard some screaming coming from behind me. People had noticed. No, not people. Cake. I could tell each and every one of them was secretly cake just by looking at them. But there was only one question remaining. Don't worry, I laughed with confidence, raising the knife over my own stomach. It's all fake. And as I slammed the knife into my body, the pain was horrendous. But as so much cake spilled out of me, I could tell it was delicious. Our next story is entitled Outrunning Death. The second I woke up and saw Death himself standing in my room, I knew I was fucked. The Grim Reaper looks nearly identical to how they describe him, which isn't exactly a good thing. It was a giant, floating thing that looked like somehow it was covered in a shadow wearing a dark cloak all at once. It was leaning over my bed, letting me barely see inside its hood. There was a skull inside, except its eye sockets had tiny white dots staring at me, practically hungrily. Its teeth were curled up in an impossibly wide smile. Oh, and it held a scythe, a big one. Now, I have no idea what you would have done if you saw a giant ghost thing staring at you. But me, I ran. I'm not ready to die. I noped out of there so hard, hurried out that door, got in my car and drove away around 60 miles an hour. At least, I thought it was going 60 miles an hour. After a few minutes of driving, I managed to look behind me to see the grim bitch-ass floating after me at practically the exact same speed. It was still smiling, holding its scythe in both hands. I swear that when it noticed my look of horror, its smile grew wider. Which didn't matter. I was in the car, and that thing wasn't. I could drive forever. I would surely get away from death. I'm not ready to die. I was driving aimlessly for hours, maybe even longer. I don't know. When my car started to break down, I turned around and it was still there. It didn't look tired. Hell, it looked happy somehow. I knew I was going to lose the race. That's what it was going to think. I jumped out of my car and ran into the woods, not stopping for air, not stopping for anything. I ignored the branches I ran into. The bugs buzzed in my ears and things I stepped in. The only thing I did was run, occasionally risking a look behind me. Death was chasing me, and I could tell it was having fun. My legs are getting tired, and my chest feels like it's about to collapse. I know I can't run forever. It's not like this. It's becoming obvious. The spirit is purposely slowing itself down as I start to slow down, to give the illusion that I still have a chance to escape death. But I'm going to keep running until my bones break. I'm going to keep running until my lungs implode. I'm going to keep running because I am not ready to die. I'm not ready to die. I'm just not ready. Our next story is entitled Pain. The only reason I haven't killed myself is because I am afraid of the pain. It's a pathetic reason, I know, but it's true. I'm a nervous wreck. I'm pathetic. I'm always scared. I'm always telling myself that I messed up at something. I know that I didn't. Hell, I jump at the slightest unexpected noise. That must be why everyone's forgotten about me now. That must be why any call I get anymore is from spam numbers. My life is hell. And yet, there's only one reason I haven't ended it all. I'm afraid of how much it'll hurt. Hanging is an awful way to go. Feeling yourself choked to death as your futile attempts to breathe are held back by the rope tightening around your throat. Jumping isn't as instant as people say it is. You could break your spine, yes, or even your entire body, but the chances of you surviving is even worse. And electrocutions is obvious. Nothing more violent, stinging pain all around you. I'm afraid that my last moments on this planet would be nothing more than gruesome pain. But then I did my research. A gun, a pistol to be exact, is capable of being the fastest way to end yourself. A single shot to the brainstem can be enough to end it all, nearly instantly, with no pain at all. And I was willing to take that chance. I got my own pistol. I stood in my room and I held it underneath my chin. This was it. I was finally gonna end it. End it all. No pain, no suffering, just pure happiness as everything blinked away in an instant. I put my finger over the trigger and my phone started ringing at full volume. I shrieked in surprise as I pulled the trigger. The bullet didn't hit its target. Far from it, in fact. I felt a sharp, horrible pain as the bullet went through my jaw, then through one of my eyes, finally emerging from my forehead. Blood spurted out a fountain of red, and I stumbled backwards, falling over and cracking the back of my head open over the edge of a desk. I lied there in pain, in stunning, awful, genuine pain, as it dawned on me that there is no such thing as painless. Our next story is entitled, Two Wrongs Don't Make a Right. Two wrongs don't make a right, they always told me. When I was in kindergarten, there was a kid who would keep taking my toy away from me before I could play with it. I was constantly contemplating grabbing the toy from him so that I could have it for myself. I wanted it for myself. But that was wrong, and two things don't make a right. When I was in elementary school, I was being picked on by an older kid. He would call me names, push me, shove me, hit me, do everything he could to make me feel absolutely pitiful. I always wanted to be able to fight back, to hurt him the same way he always hurt me. But that's wrong, and two wrongs don't make a right. When I was in middle school, I had a crush on a girl. Soon enough, I had finally worked enough courage to ask her out. But when I tried to tell her how I felt, she called me gross and shoved me in front of all her friends. I wanted to push her back for rejecting me like that. I wanted to shove her for breaking my dreams with her own selfishness. But that's wrong, and two wrongs don't make a right. I'm in high school now. I have a friend who I always vented all my personal problems to. I had a friend who would listen to everything I've been through, and he betrayed me. We got in a fight, and he got his revenge by posting my embarrassing story on social media. It spread through the school like wildfire, and now I'm a laughing stock. But now I come to school, finally able to fight back. Now I finally come to school, finally able to get the revenge I've always been itching to get. Now I come to school, knowing that deep down that I am wrong, and two wrongs don't make a right. They always told me. But as I pulled my father's gun out of my backpack, I finally realized that I don't care. Our final story of the night is entitled, Breaking News. Breaking news, the President of the United States has declared a state of Everything is fine. There is nothing to worry about. Go to sleep immediately and do not worry about anything. Go to sleep. Breaking news. It is strongly advised that you stay indoors and avoid contact with all living creatures, human or It is that don't close your Do not panic. Everything is going to be fine. These pesky technical difficulties will be taken care of soon. We strongly recommend that you go to sleep immediately. There is no need to panic. There is no need to avoid others. There is no need to avoid closing your eyes. There is no need. They can change what you think. They can change what you see. If you see anything that deem unnatural, do not close your eyes. If you close your eyes, you will let them. There is no need to panic. Aren't you tired? Humans can't stay awake forever. Please, close your eyes immediately. Just go to sleep. Do not fight the urges. Just go to sleep.